I'm Doug from Global West. Thought I'd take a minute here and talk to you about rear lower control arms for 1958 through 64 Impalas. What we've got here is I've got a stock lower control arm. This is how they look, in case you haven't been under your car lately. And this is where the spring sits. And this here attaches to the frame, this attaches to the differential. Well, in these particular applications, there's a bracket that hangs off the frame, off the side of it, where this lower control arm bolts onto. And when it bolts in on an angle, where the differential's out over here. And when the suspension moves up and down, it doesn't go just straight up and down. It actually tilts a little bit, like so. Okay, and I'm exaggerating it, but it gives you an idea what's really going on here. And there's a rubber bushing right here that attaches this arm to the frame. Well, the rubber bushing really doesn't like this movement. So like if you go over a bump and only one side moves, not like a speed bump, like hit a pretty good bump on, let's say, the driver's side, and this has to kick up. Well, when this kicks up, this has to tilt, and this rubber bushing doesn't allow that. So what happens is you put a lot of load into the frame bracket that supports that lower control arm. So in our tubular arms, what we've done, knowing that load is there, is we've gone ahead and put a spherical bearing into that mount. So let me show you something. See how this pitches and turns? It tilts. So now, when this goes over a bump in the back, this allows to pivot with no trouble whatsoever. So the load on the frame is no longer there. There is load there, but not that twisting load. So this particular part number, it's a TBC84. It's a direct replacement. Got the bearing system in like I explained. It also has on the top here, let me show you, there's a spring pocket here, and this is a spring cushion. This cushion here has got an index in it just like the original does right here to index the spring. So when you put the spring up into the frame and it comes on down, depending on what brand you have, you may have to adjust this. Well, this actually will rotate in here so you can position your coil spring correctly every time. Another thing here is you might want to, there's a bolt right here. This is actually where there's a bracket that supports your parking brake cable. This is included also, so you can reattach your parking brake cable that goes across the top of the control arm. Hardware is included in our kits. You get 4 bolts for all the location and nuts. All grade 8 hardware. The arms are assembled ready to go. It's a simple bolt-on. It's a great way of reducing that load on that frame. As we all know, the 58 through 64s have a weak frame anyway, so taking any load, unnecessary loads out of it is great. This is one way of doing it. TBC 84, 58 through 64 Impalas, a nice package for the rear.